Hello and welcome to today's explainer. Get ready because we're stepping right inside a classic story. This is an immersive cartoon-style reading adventure and it is absolutely perfect for boosting our English to that E3 level. We're going to practice reading the classic fable of the two travelers and the bear. My goal today? To explore this amazing story with you, pick up some brilliant advanced vocabulary along the way, and truly feel the narrative. Okay, let's dive right into this.
Now, I want you to start by picturing this super vivid scene. You're walking in a beautiful, sunlit forest. You've got your best friend right there beside you. You're laughing, chatting, and then boom, a giant, terrifying bear appears right in front of you. What is your very first instinct? Do you fight? Do you run? Do you just freeze? Keep that thought in the back of your mind because this exact scenario is about to seriously test a friendship.
Section 1. Journey into the forest. Setting the scene.
Notice just how peaceful everything starts out. Our source text tells us, two companions were journeying together through a forest. I love the word companions here instead of just people. It implies a real bond, a partnership. They're journeying through, just moving together in this lush, green, happy cartoon forest. It's basically a perfect day. But as you know with all good stories, this piece, it isn't gonna last long.
The piece is shattered without warning. And here is our very first power-up phrase to learn. Without warning, or 毫无预兆地, means suddenly and unexpectedly, literally out of nowhere. When we're reading or telling a story, using without warning creates this instant drop in your stomach. That relaxed stroll they were on is officially over.
So what happens without warning? An enormous bear steps onto the path. But the text uses a really brilliant phrase here. It says the bear lumbered onto the path before them. To lumber onto, 笨重地走上, means to move slowly and heavily. Imagine this giant, massive creature taking huge, heavy, thudding steps. You can almost feel the ground shaking beneath its huge cartoon paws. It's not sprinting, it's lumbering. And honestly, that slow, heavy movement makes its immense size even more intimidating.
Section 2. A giant bear appears. The incident.
Now, the crucial point here is that they absolutely do not react as a team. This brilliantly illustrates the difference between these two characters when they're put under pressure. On one side, we see the first man. Thinking only of himself, he immediately goes for the high ground in a tree. And on the other side, his poor companion is left entirely alone on the forest floor, literally face to face with a bear.
Let's look closely at the action words used for that first friend. He scrambled up a tree. This means he climbed super fast, using both his hands and his feet in a state of total panic. Hand and foot scrambling up. 脚脚并用地爬上. He wasn't being graceful at all. He was scrambling. And by doing so, he abandoned his friend to his fate. 弃某人于不顾. This is such a deeply emotional phrase. To abandon someone to their fate means you completely leave them in a dangerous situation to survive or not survive entirely on their own. Just pure selfishness.
So, what about the friend left on the ground? Well, he has zero time to climb, so he executes a really desperate three-step survival combo. Step 1. He threw himself flat upon the ground. pu dal zai. Step 2. He lay perfectly still. I dong bu dong. Step 3. He held his breath. Pinju hushi. You really have to imagine the intense tension here. He is lying in the dirt, absolutely frozen, not even daring to breathe, just hoping against hope that the old rumor is true, that a bear won't touch something it thinks is already dead. Then, the enormous bear approaches. It leans right down and sniffs at the man's ear. Can you imagine feeling the hot breath of a bear on your neck? But satisfied that the man was lifeless, meaning completely without life or movement, the bear simply ambled away into the woods.
Now, earlier we learned lumber for heavy, slow steps. Now we have amble, which means to walk away at a slow, relaxed, almost lazy pace. The danger has completely passed.
Section 3. The Bear's Secret Whisper. The punchline.
With the bear gone, the selfish friend finally climbs down from the safety of his tree, and, trying to lighten the completely awkward mood, he asks his friend, half in jest, what the bear had whispered so closely in his ear. Half in jest means he's trying to make a joke out of it. He's being playful when he really has no right to be. He's basically treating a life-or-death betrayal like a funny little cartoon moment.
But, as you might guess, his companion on the ground is not laughing. He looks up at the friend who abandons him and delivers this incredible response. The bear advised me never again to travel with a friend who deserts me at the first sign of danger. Boom. What a spectacular way to call out a bad friend. It's perfectly sarcastic, it's completely true, and it serves as the ultimate punchline of our fable.
There are two vital pieces of vocabulary in that punchline that we need to grab. First is desert, 抛弃, which in this context is a verb meaning to leave or abandon someone when they need you the most. And then the phrase at the first sign of, 一有什么什么的迹象. The friend didn't even wait to see if they could fight the bear together, right? He ran at the first sign of danger, the very second trouble appeared.
Section 4. Interactive Role-Play Practice. Let's step into the story.
All right, here is your first role play. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of the selfish friend who hid up in the tree. The coast is clear, you climb down, and you walk up to your friend who is dusting himself off. What phrase do you use to try and make a joke about the bear sniffing his ear? How do you ask him what the bear said? Think about it for a second. You would ask, what did the bear whisper so closely? And you would ask it half in jest. If you remembered that phrase half in jest, 很开玩笑地, fantastic job. It perfectly captures that awkward, trying to be funny feeling. Okay, role play number 2. Let's switch characters. Now you are the brave, quick-thinking friend who was left on the ground. Someone asks you, how on earth did you survive that enormous bear? Try to recall that 3-step survival combo we talked about earlier. What exactly did you do when you realized you couldn't run?
You would say, I threw myself flat, lay perfectly still, and held my breath. Just look at those verbs for a second. Threw, lay, held. It paints such a tense, dramatic picture. You didn't just lie down. You threw yourself flat. Great job if you nailed those specific action words.
Okay, final role play, and this is the big one. You are still the friend on the ground. The friend who abandoned you just made his little joke about the bear whispering. Now it is your turn to deliver the ultimate comeback using the advanced vocabulary we just learned. What do you say to him?
You look him dead in the eye and say, never travel with a friend who deserts you at the first sign of danger. It's strong, it's definitive, and it shows you have totally mastered the climax of this story. Notice you didn't just say leaves you. You used that powerful word deserts. Excellent work.
Section 5. The Golden Quote. The moral of the story.
And here is the core message. The golden quote of our entire explainer today. Adversity reveals who your true friends are. Or, 患难能看出谁是你真正的朋友. Let that sink in for a moment. It's so easy to be a good companion when you are just walking through a sunny forest. It is only when the giant bear steps onto the path that you truly see what someone's character is made of. To fully grasp this golden quote, let's look at our final 2 vocabulary words together. Adversity, 境情, 患难, which means a difficult or unpleasant situation, a true hardship. And reveal, 揭示, meaning to make something known that was previously hidden. The hardship takes away the mask and shows you the truth.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought. Next time you face real adversity, who do you want by your side? Make sure it's someone who stays on the ground with you, and not someone who scrambles up the nearest tree. Keep practicing your reading, keep expanding that vocabulary, and I will see you in the next one.